Hello AkiMaki's, it's Aki here with an introductory guide for our lovely Berserker nun, Teresse. I'll be going through her current costume's potential, strengths and weaknesses, and my honest personal opinion on her. Let's go check out our lovely Berserker. Teresse is the daughter of Armin. Kind and gentle, her overwhelming strength can knock back multiple enemies and bleed them while supporting her team. At the time of this video, Teresse has two costumes and skills: Angel Destruction, a control knockback skill, and Medical Club, a support skill that heals and buffs the team. As you know, all skills shown in this video are at max potential and do. Teresse's base costume is called Angel Destruction with the skill Berserk Smash. Berserk Smash is Teresse's lane control skill that costs 1 SP. Upon activation, Teresse will immediately supply the team with 3 skill points to be used on the next turn. Afterwards, Teresse will knock back an entire lane of enemies 2 squares, dealing 150% of the enemy's max HP to targets they had impacted with. This knockback damage can crit, and can easily turn most squishy enemies into melted butter. Then the enemy that was knocked back will be afflicted with a bleed damage based on 225% of Teresse's attack. With her upgraded potential, her skill can hit the entire front lane of enemies, causing massive damage and shock. In the right scenario, this ability can destroy the enemies at no cost. For those who want Teresse's Angel Destruction costume, you can recruit her costume with a rainbow contract in the pub of Story Pack 7 after completing Pack 7 story on normal mode. Enough talk, let's move on to her next costume, Medical Club Teresse.
この傷は治療中にミスしちゃって治療だけ受けに来たんですよね。もう少し休んでいってもいいですよ。あなたなら。
Medical Club Teresse is a very player-friendly costume that came out during the school crisis event. Play on her personality of caring for others and healing their pains away. Medical Club Teresse is a strong buffer that can buff both physical attack and magical attack while providing a strong AoE heal in a fixed area. Her skill Out Help at max potential can buff up your entire team's magic attack and physical attack by 120% at the cost of 3 SP. Then at the end of each turn, heal all allies based on 75% of Teresse's current HP. Up to a maximum of 15k heals, which means if she loses HP, her heal amount will drop with it. However, because heal can crit, this means that Teresse's HP loss won't cause so much of a drastic loss of healing power. But once activated, they don't need to be near Teresse anymore on the next turn. Both of these effects will last for 4 turns. Despite being a very strong costume that can be used in all general content and endgame content, her SP cost is high at 3 compared to H. Lathel's 1 SP and B. Idol Helena's 2 SP, making her one of the most expensive buffer in the game. Also, Teresse suffers from having to wait 1 more turn before she can use it again, making her unable to have unlimited uptime on her buff compared to her other buffer counterparts. But even if these are her weaknesses, she is still a very great costume pickup for any new accounts and players. Now that we have gone through her skills, it's time to talk about her potential, bonds, and upgrades. First up is Teresse's Angel of Destruction's potential upgrades. When upgrading her potentials, you'll gain up to 5.2% attack. Through upgrading the costume, you can increase Berserk Smash range to reach an entire front lane rather than her original 3 front squares. Her other upgrades will increase Berserk Smash HP % knockback damage by 25% and increase bleed damage by 50%. These upgrades turns Teresse into a strong, scary berserker whom under the right scenario can easily destroy 2 to 3 enemies through her knockbacks. Her botting stats for Angel Destruction touches on her more offensive side by increasing her low flat attack by 80, HP by 20.4%, and defense by 5%. If Teresse ever gains a more offensive costume, these stats may help buffer her currently already low attack value. Next up is Teresse's Medical Club potential upgrades. As you upgrade her potentials, you'll gain up to 6.4% permanent HP stats. Through upgrading the costume, you can increase her buff and heal range, making it easier to position her to buff your entire team. The skill upgrades will also increase the skill's attack and magic buff by 10% and increase the heal amount by 25%. These upgrades turn Teresse into an amazing supporter that can keep your team alive while dramatically increasing your team's overall damage. Her bonding stats for Medical Club gives her the ability to become more of a tank by increasing her HP by a fat 62.4%, attack by 14.20%, and magical resistance by 8.4%. These stats makes Medical Club Teresse the best to choose for botting, as it not only buffs her heals, it gives her survivability and damage, turning her into a semi-tank that can stay alive on the field while supporting her teammates. If you can't decide which costume to bond to, you can't go wrong choosing Medical Club Teresse, as it provides Teresse with stats that her two skills can easily benefit from. Next up, let's check out Teresse's best character builds. Teresse is a berserker who supports her team, but she currently lacks strong definitive offensive and defensive capabilities that sets her apart from other characters. Despite this, Teresse being a berserker with a knockback skill, she doesn't need to stack attack damage nor attack stats. As you can see on her stats screen on the left, she wants to stack crit damage, crit rate, HP %, and your choice of resistances. The reason for the high crit damage value is because her first skill, Berserker Smash. Berserker Smash main damage actually comes from knockback. Knockback damage is based on enemy max HP and can crit. This means that crit damage can turn 24k damage into a ridiculously high number. Another reason to stack crit damage is because heals in Brown Dust 2 can crit. Even if her HP is low, that crit damage value being high can easily turn her 3k HP heal into a 12k heal, making Teresse one of the best users to stack crit damage on. Crit damage caps at 700% in the game. Her next must-have stat is HP %. Since you want Teresse to stay alive as long as possible as a buffer and a tank, getting her to around 17 to 20k HP would greatly help maximize her heals. Her heal ability caps around 20k HP. Finally, you will have to choose between 90% defense or 90% magical resistance. Mixing them will actually not help you in the long run. This is because damage in Brown Dust 2 ramps up easily. The difference between 60% and 90% is huge and can factor whether you survive the hit or get turned into a pile of mush. On the right are her best builds from her own personal experiences. If you do not have her exclusive weapon, getting the free UR weapon is all you need. If in the future she gets more offensive skills, gunning for her exclusive weapon will help boost your Teresse's attack by 45%. Next to the equipments are the substats. The substats can be obtained in any order as long as the substats tally up to that amount. So there isn't a particular order of substats you need on your equipments as long as you get those stats. The substats that you will need are HP % times 9, crit damage times 3, and your choice of defense or magical resistances times 3. And again, these equipments and substats are subjected to change to more offensive stats depending on her future skills. Lastly, her best bond to equip at this moment in time is easily Medical Club Teresse. This may change in the future as more of her costumes and skills comes out, but if you can't decide, Medical Club Teresse is your best bet. Up next, I will be quickly explaining Teresse's Overworld ability called Overpowered. Teresse's world ability skill is called Overpowered. It allows you to smash into and auto-destroy lesser rank enemies by dashing into them. Teresse's Overpowered skill will last for 60 seconds at legendary rank at the cost of 15 ability pills. It is more expensive than Alex Overpowered, but does last longer. This allows you to farm monsters on maps without needing to enter battle. You will still obtain the items from the monsters that have been defeated by this skill. If you want convenience in traveling through maps without wanting to battle, this is a nice quality of life skill to obtain. Finally, let's talk about her strengths and weaknesses. Teresse has plenty of strengths that makes her stand out from other characters. She's the only character currently that has a wide knockback that spans an entire horizontal lane, has one of the strongest buffs in the game that allows mixed team building, and her heals can sustain her team through dangerous situations still. It's kinda nuts how much of a defensive utility Teresse can be. She's great for all PvE content. In PvP and PvE, her knockbacks can easily destroy enemies if they are stacked on each other, albeit this usage is situational. She might sound great at first, but she does have some problems. First, her buffs cost 3 SP at max potential and max dupes, very high and expensive compared to other buffers in the game. Secondly, her heals are based on her current HP at the turn. This means that if she takes huge damage from enemies, her heals will be massively affected. Having crit damage to circumvent the loss of healing power is a must. This does create a dilemma whether she should be a frontline tank or place her in the back just to soak up some minor enemy damage. And finally, her knockbacks are very situational. If she is not able to knock the enemies into other enemies, she loses out on her knockback damage. And her bleed damage isn't very strong either. Especially in PvP where first turn collateral matters, She is too costly to be used as a first turn buffer, and too situational to be used as a knockback OTK for PvP. And her 2 square knockback is strong, but is easily overshadowed by Roll 3 square knockback. Teresse also has a weaker bleed than Roll. Finally, using her current costumes, let's check out her overall rating in the game. As you can see, Teresse is very strong in PvE content. Even if her strengths are overshadowed by other characters in the game, she is mainly used in general content, Fiend Hunt, Last Night, event challenges, and Evil Castle where SP cost isn't so much of a problem. The reason is because of her costume Medical Club Teresse. Medical Club Teresse is the strongest mixed buffer and healer in the current state of the game, allowing you to build a team of both magic and physical attack properties. This allows you more freedom in team builds to tackle harder content, especially in content with continuous damage like Fiend Hunt. As long as SP count isn't a problem, Teresse Medical Club will be a great addition to your team for a long time. However, until she gets better costumes, I wouldn't recommend her in your PvP teams for Mirror Wars. Despite her weaknesses, what do you think of Teresse? Let me know in the comment section down below. I am interested in hearing how you feel about her kit, her story, and your predictions of her future costumes and skills. Hello Onis! If this video helped you out, don't forget to leave a like, consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all soon on the next video. See you next time, Onis!